Right, I'm talking to the children. I wonder what you think of these pictures. No, they're not rescuing. Does anybody know what they're doing? They're sleeping. They're camping on a cliff. That's yes, absolutely. Look over on the right-hand side. There's someone there reading a book, just leisurely. So I don't know how you feel about this. This fills me with terror. I could not imagine doing this. Especially again on that right-hand side, that picture of that chap there, just looking casually over the edge. So, well, yes, it's not for me. I can tell you that for sure. But this is a thing people do apparently. So they use their camping, their climbing equipment to nail themselves securely into the cliff face, and will sleep the night in a tent like this. And you can understand how it has to be incredibly secure to do that. You would absolutely have to have 100% confidence that you've secured your, they call it a porter ledge, correctly, a porter ledge. So of course they've got to carry it there as well, that's the other thing. They've got to carry it there and set it up. So interesting. But what I wanted to talk about is consequences. Consequences. Because you can appreciate there are grave consequences of doing something like this. There are grave consequences of not being absolutely secure in what you're doing when you sleep on a sheer cliff face like this. And it's not just this, it's every aspect of our lives we face consequences. There's a lovely passage in the teachings of the church that talks about every moment of our life has a series of consequences stretching into eternity. And we don't always realise that. Every moment of our life has a series of consequences stretching into eternity. It's a really important idea to hang on to. And one of the things that strikes me, and one of the images that I've always had in my mind, is this idea of sleeping on a cliff or near the edge of a cliff face. And sometimes in the way that we act in the world, we often think, oh no, I'd never do this thing, I'd never do something, that would be dreadful to do, whatever it is. There's many things we might think of, so I won't do it. But it's like we sleep on the edge of the cliff. So, and you can imagine, if you had a cliff face just right here and you decided to sleep right on that edge, unsecured, how easy it is just to roll over and fall off. And this is the way we often approach consequences. We often think of, oh well, I'm not going to do it, but I don't do anything more than just have this vague notion that I'm not going to do it. Now, in the church we have this word which we use, and it's shun. Shun. To shun evil. And what it means is to run away from. So me, faced with this, I run away from it. You would never find me sleeping on a cliff, because I like to be home secure in my bed and know that if I happen to fall out of bed, I'm not going to fall to my death. And this is the way we need to approach evils. This is the way we need to approach the things we do in our lives. If I really don't want to do something, I need to run away from it. Put as much distance between me and that thing as possible. Okay? Whereas most of us, I think, often, and I know I've done it myself, we sleep on that cliff edge. And so we're just on that, on the point of rolling over into something. And it's something I think that's well worth us being aware of in everything that we do, children and adults. So this idea of shunning is a very important and a useful one. So just remember that, consequences. Every moment in life has a series of consequences stretching out into eternity.